Excited about the opportunity we have tomorrow. Obviously, super impressed with what I've seen from Rhode Island on film throughout the season. They've got some really impressive wins. I think none more impressive than the one at Yale. Especially when you consider how good Yale has played and then the fashion URI won that game. But then thought they had a really good week last week down in Orlando. Two convincing wins over Vermont and Temple, and I think they probably just feel like they didn't play as well as they can offensively in the Towson game. But, um, we're going to have to first and foremost be ready to compete physically. Their physical strength and toughness jumps out at you when you watch them. And we are going to have to do a great job taking care of the ball and the rebounding. They've been really, really good at winning the possession game all year. The amount of times they turn you over and the amount of offensive rebounds they get, I think, has generated a lot of offense for them, their defensive turnover percentage and their offensive rebounding percentage. So, for us to have a chance, we're going to have to hold our own physically and then in the possession battle.
Mike, I know I've asked you this before. When you play these non-conference games, I put my charts together and I just see all of these guys that are, transfers from different schools. You're facing teams that are so different than what they were a season ago. I mean, what's that like? I know obviously coaches like to run, maybe the same type of systems offensively and defensively, but the personnel is different, right? From what you faced a year ago.
It is, and I think Archie and his staff deserve a ton of credit for not only their hit rate, for lack of a better way of saying it, on all these new players and all these new transfers, but also putting very quickly a style of play together that is conducive to the talents they have and is led to a lot of wins, and I think is going to last for them throughout the season. The way they're playing, the identity they've created already as a team and different from last year. I mean, last year's URI team was one of the fastest tempo teams in the country. Doesn't mean this team's not going to try to beat you in transition, but they've adapted, and I think they're a outstanding defensive team. That again, top 20 in the country in defensive turnover percentage. They're coming at you physically. They're coming at you with their athleticism, and they've got 9 or 10 guys that are playing consistent in this rotation. So, the ability for them and for Archie and his staff to, you know, recruit what they've recruited, experience, toughness, physicality, athleticism, super impressive.
Mike, last question from me. In your three wins, I don't know what the number is, but it has to be really, really good, your defensive efficiency in those three victories. Is that kind of where you wanted to start for your team on that end of the floor? Like, we've got to be good there, and everything else kind of plays off of that.
Yeah, it has to be, Scott. Like for us to have the kind of season we want to have, we've got to be an elite half-court defensive team. Right along with that is defensive rebounding. And as crazy as it sounds, like our offense has to help our defense. Our offense has to complement our defense. And, we can't turn the ball over and lead to, fast break layups for the opposition. When we take care of the ball, when we take care of our defensive rebounding, we think we can be a really good defensive team. To your point, over the last 4 games, which includes a road loss at Stony Brook, the last 2 weeks, our defense has operated at a really good level, a top 50, even top 40 level when you factor in, adjusted defensive efficiency. So that's got to be who we are. With that said, our offense needs to pick it up. Our offense needs to be a lot better if we want to win at the level we want to win at. So I think the formula is there, but we've got a lot of progress to make at the offensive end of the court.
And Mike,
Like,
now with Landon back, that certainly should be a boost to your offensive efficiency, getting the ball inside. He's pretty good at reading defenses when he gets a double team, gets the ball back out and scores with either hand. So that's good to have him back, I'm sure.
For sure, yeah. I mean, like Landon's so important to this team, not just as a scorer, but as a playmaker. His fitness still needs to improve. He was out a month, right? So I think, and you've seen it in some of the second half droughts we've had, even in wins at Maine and New Hampshire, like I think Landon's gotten a little fatigued. We've got to continue to ramp his fitness level back up. But yeah, we've been, where I think he's really helped us is defensively protecting the paint, rebounding the ball. But there's no doubt, he's a huge part of what we need to be offensively.
Mike, he's the only senior you're playing right now. This is one of the youngest groups you've had in 6 or 7 years with respect to minutes played. I wonder just what sort of challenges that presents to the staff in terms of trying to get these guys up to speed.
Yeah, it's interesting, Bill. Ken Palm has this stat, D1 experience. And, when you return 11 guys like we did, you would think you have an experienced team. We are 347 out of
Yes.
365. And now you have two new coaches, right? So like it's been some transition for us, and especially with the injuries we had early. We had a lot of new guys out there, and it didn't look great. So yeah, I think what we've learned is we've got some young guys that can contribute to winning at a good level. Our freshmen Isaiah Langham and Brady Loughlin for sure. But like I think when they're, more in roles, playing off of Landon, playing off of Dabo, playing off of JJ, that's when we're going to be at our best. We're still trying to figure it out, rotation, starters, we're still trying to figure all that stuff out as we're, now 8 games into the season. But yeah, the youth and the even some of the sophomores that were playing a lot, they just didn't play a ton last year. So I think that's probably where that stat comes from. But again, no matter who's out there, like for 13, 14 years now, we've tried to embrace the identity of being a great defensive team, and that's got to be our constant.
Yeah, I know coaches are process driven, long term driven, and players maybe not as much so. So for the group, just how important has it been to get a few wins here and maybe build a little bit of confidence through validation on the floor?
No doubt. Yeah. Yeah, like I think in some of the losses, we still were encouraged by some of the things we saw. But at the end of the day, like the scoreboard shows win or loss, and when you lose the first four and five out of your first six, that can be challenging. Uh, but I give our guys a lot of credit. Obviously, David Rochester and Landon Lewis coming back, for the last 2 weeks has been, a huge reason why, we've won 3 out of 4 and are playing at the level we're playing at defensively. Um, but I give guys like Jeremiah Jenkins and Dabo a ton of credit for how they've continued to just set the standard with their work ethic, with their communication. And yeah, we are very much a work in progress, Bill. But I think if we can hold our head on
Thank
being
you. Happy birthday.
defensively, um, we can kind of hopefully continue to progress through that learning curve in this transition.
All due respect to Elms, but your next 3 games against Division I opponents will all be in-state opponents. I wonder just what you like about this 2 week stretch where you get some rivalry juice and you don't have to travel too much to do it, and ultimately you might be in some environments that are going to be a little bit challenging, force a little bit of adversity.
Yeah, no, it's a great time. It's a great time for us. Like the fact that we can sleep in our own beds, but still get great road environments. We're really grateful to URI. We've played them every single year I've been here. I think other than one year where their team, all was positive for COVID. Very grateful that Bryant and Providence College continue to give us the opportunity to play these games. Rhode Island, as you know, Bill, is an amazing state for college basketball, and we want to be a part of that conversation, right? We just want to have the opportunity to test ourselves. If we can be competitive in our state, we think we can have a chance to be competitive in the Ivy League. And this year's no different. I mean, these 3 in-state opponents are going to test us all in different ways. Obviously, our focus right now is on the Ryan Center and URI tomorrow and everything I mentioned early in terms of their defensive physicality, athleticism, toughness, and all the problems they're going to pose for us offensively. But big picture, yes, by next Wednesday morning when we wake up, after playing Providence, we'll have tested ourselves against, three terrific in-state opponents, and hopefully we learn a little more about ourselves and prepare us that much more for league play.
Thank you.
Hey, Mike, it's Brendan. How are you?
I'm well, Brendan. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving to you. I just wanted to look briefly ahead to the end of the week, and I found a crazy stat I wanted to share. Six of the last seven matchups between Bryant and Brown, the visiting team has won. Just how crazy is that, and how great has it been over the last few years that you guys and Bryant have kind of made this, this weekend, this upcoming weekend, kind of a nice two-game card on back-to-back days?
Yeah, I hope that streak ends this year, but because we're the home team. But yeah, it's been like, I mean, as Brian's program has grown to NCAA tournament and obviously, a mid-major power here in the Northeast, we feel really grateful that our rivalry with them has continued to grow. Um, I know when Jared was there, when Phil was there, and I've had, conversations with Jamie, and as long as those coaches are in their positions, we want to play this game and we want to play it this Friday night. We understand what most of the people in the state are looking forward to this weekend, and that's the game on Saturday with Providence and URI. But for us at Brown and for Bryant to have the attention we'll get on the game we have Friday night is a great thing. And that's an opponent that is going to challenge us and prepare us for what is to come in the Ivy League. Like there's so much of how you schedule in the non-conference. Obviously, you want to win games, you want to put yourself in opportunities to get people to watch you, but it's all about getting ready for January 5th when we start Ivy League play. And yeah, that game on Friday night is going to be a fun atmosphere. And when Wednesday comes, I'll give you everything you want to know about Brian. I don't know a whole lot right now. What I know a lot is about URI and how hard that game tomorrow night's going to be.